everyone. So we are now in the week 5 of the quarter 4 and we will discuss now the classic plating of food again and again. Okay, so let us start. The classic plating technique we uses the three basic food items of starch, vegetable, and the main course. So here is the arrangement for the main course. It was located between 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Just take a look at this picture on your right side. So it is between 3 to 9 o'clock. And then the starch is between 9 to 11 o'clock. And the vegetable must be placed at 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So here is an example of it. And now, let us discuss the basic principles of platter preparation. So, platter, it is the serving plate where we usually put the dish that we serve to the guest or to our visitors at home. So, we have basic principles in platter presentation. So, the first one is presentation must have three elements. And what are the three elements? The centerpiece, it is the uncut portion of the food item. And then the slice, or it is the cut or the serving portion of the main food. And then the last one is the garnish. And we already discussed what is the garnish. So that's it. That is the three basic elements of presentation. And then number 2, the food should be easy to handle and serve. So one portion can be removed without ruining the arrangement. So there is a slice portion wherein the guest can remove it without ruining the presentation of the food. And then the number 3, simple arrangement are easier to serve and more likely to be still attractive when they are half demolished by the guests. So just make it simple. Even if the guests eaten some parts of the food, still it looks attractive. And then number 4, attractive platter is made of metal, mirrors, china, plastic, or wood, presentable and suitable for use of the food. So it depends on you what kind of material that you going to use in your plates. Number 5, it must look attractive and appropriate not only by itself but among other presentations on the table. So it must be presentable when you serve it into the table, because the table has its table arrangement and it has its own decoration. And when we put the food, just make sure that it jives to the table, or sa Tagalog, babagay siya doon sa inihanda nyong table. Next one is how to present food on plate. So, how we're going to serve the food on plate. There's a trivia that when food looks appetizing, the body produces more fluids that aid in nutrient absorption. So you might even say that beautiful food is more wholesome than food that does not look appealing. So there is a scientific basis why we serve food in with garnishing, with decoration. It is just because of this trivia. To achieve restaurant quality presentation, start with brightly colored, well-cooked food. So that's why we have garnishing. Finally, garnish the plate with flavorful herbs and spices to make it to the next level. So see step 1 and beyond to learn how to make the next meal you will cook look irresistible. So here's the step. So the first step, let me see, okay. So the first step is avoid a monochromatic color scheme. Ano ba yung monochromatic? Yung magkakasing kulay. Because we want to have an enticing color of food. A plate of food looks more appealing when there is a high level of contrast in color. So, when you're planning your meal, think ahead about the colors you want to feature in your plate. So, think it. And if you are about to serve several light colored food like grilled chicken and smashed potato, add a serving or two of fruits and vegetable to add color into your plate. If you are not sure how to add color, utilize garnish. Nearly any savory dish is well served with a sparkling of fresh chives, parsley, dill, and mint. Lemon and lime wedges are welcome alongside poultry and seafood dishes because it has different color above those things that you want to serve. The next step is bring out vegetable brightest color. So they the way you cook your vegetable has a lot of bearing in the overall visual effect of the meal. Lightly steam instead of boiling. Steaming vegetable makes them look appetizing and flavorful, while boiling creates an opposite effect. So just bear it in your mind. And roasting and stew them with a little oil or butter. Roasted or stewed vegetable look quite appetizing. Then they can caramelize a little in oil or butter. So roasting is a little bit appetizing than sauteing. The third step is sear your meat and let it rest. Many meat dishes look more appetizing when the meat has been seared. The side of the steak or piece of or grilled salmon with a brown crispy sear will make your dinner guest mouth starts to water. In addition to searing your meat, you should let it rest for several minutes before cutting it. This allowed the juice to absorb back into the meat so as they do not end up running all over the plate. So do not slice the meat right away after you sear it or after you roast it. Cook. The next one is cook fried food carefully. So underdone and overcooked fried foods are difficult to present in an appealing way, and it's not okay or palatable for you to eat uncooked or overcooked fried foods. Fried foods can look beautiful on plate, but it is important to fry them well and have a plan for dealing with the oil so it does not muck up and rest of the dish. So when we fry the dish, make sure it is just on nadudula siya sa gitna, hindi sunog, hindi rin naman hindi luto. Okay? And then the next one is the take texture into account. Texture and color go hand in hand when it comes to how appetizing food looks in the plate. If your food looks too oily, too dry, mushy, tough, or otherwise difficult to chew and swallow, it will not matter how perfectly colorful it takes. Take pains to cook food well so that it comes out in the right texture. Actually, no, hindi lang mata dapat ang nabubusog. Dapat maayos din yung pagkain natin. Ang hirap kainin ng pagkain na, ang hirap nguyain, 'di ba? So, na-experience nyo naman siguro na 'yon. The way you handle the food just after it has been cooked and before it is plated can really affect the texture. Pasta, for example, should be kept in water and tossed a bit in a little amount of oil just after cooking so that it does not start to clump. Fried food should not be covered with airtight lids because the heat from the food will end up steaming and burning and causing the food to get soggy. Once the food is on plate, a spritz of oil or water can improve its visual appealing if it looks too dry. So if it is too dry, just add a little oil or water. And then the next one, the last one is the experiment in interesting shapes. Cutting vegetable in interesting shape can make the simple become special. You can cook and serve vegetable desserts, pot pies, and other food inside unique shape dishes to create attractive shapes. So, hindi lang pambata yun, no? Even if in adults, they fond of eating irregular shape or cutting vegetable in shape and in texture so that they will have an interest on your food. So that's it. That is our topic for today about plating. So thank you everyone for watching.